You got to be kidding me. For some reason, I can only do 6 minutes. I'll fix it. So I don't know where I cut off the last time. But this is what happens when you have something, sorry, that's really important, especially if it's the truth. There's going to be resistance. And I'm just going to keep saying it because this is what I'm doing. So, when you talk about my son, I don't know where the last one cut off, how I really am very happy with his sense of self and how he can challenge the things that I'm saying. But I also don't allow him to argue with me unless he has something valid to back up his argument. If he hasn't studied it, he doesn't get to argue. So I think that matters also. Way to break my flow, universe or anti-universe. Anyway, you really have to, instead of like, we can all be upset that somebody wants to infringe on our rights or stifle what we need to say and suppress your natural expression. It's important, I think, the point of this is to, go to your source. And, if you're having feelings of opposition, there's a reason for that. And that's your clue to look a little bit further and then look and see, okay, what is the purpose of, for instance, performing the Mass in Latin? What value does it have as far as your faith, your beliefs? Is it a major contributor, or is there another way you can preserve that tradition? Because sometimes we have to change. So I don't think this at all came from, and my phone, I'm using my phone, duh. I can't remember what he said the purpose was. And so then I considered also that, okay, not everybody studied Latin, and maybe it makes the Mass more universal and understandable for everyone. So I think what we have to do is really decide individually if that's important to you, if that's something that you really want to defend. Just know your truth. Again, why do you want to defend that truth? What's the value of it? And realizing that, is it that we're holding to tradition because we don't like change? Or is it that we need these traditions because that's the undercurrent of our culture? And that, like, both these things are important. And I can't tell anybody what to do, but I think we need to seriously consider, when these things happen, what the ultimate value of the thing is, and determine, as a whole, if we're going to change things or not. And I think we need to all practice this kind of thinking because the world is burning. In case you haven't noticed. So I think we really need to shift our focus to, unclutter these things. And I used to ask Jackson when he was little, is it a big deal or a little deal when he got upset about something? Because compared to whatever else is going on in your universe right now, you have to really be able to pick your battles and decide, where you're going to spend your headspace and your time. Because things are like snowballing, and it's happening fast. I don't know if you're noticing, but the world's burning fast. So I really feel like our focus needs to be on, go within, know what your truth is, know who you are, know what matters to you, and realize that maybe we need to declutter. Maybe it's time to clean house. Maybe it's time to get to the root of our values as a people, and decide what we're going to do about these problems. What we're going to do about preserving the resources that we have, about more sustainable resources. What are we going to do about our food sources? What are we going to do about meeting the needs of every person when the economy crashes, if it does? We need to be worried about those things. And yes, our faith. Like, I'm always going to put my faith first, but I think that God is leading me in this, wisdom through these stories. I tell my son, I can't tell him that he has to believe in God. But I tell him that I keep saying these things because it's the stories that are important. It's the lessons that we learn. So I just really feel really passionate about this today. But I think, like, we need to get it together as a people. And I think I realized that maybe that anger that I felt, I'm not saying at all that the rights of the people, like, I fully believe that everyone has, those unalienable, I can't say that, rights, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. And, sometimes we choose rebellion is the best thing, or relocation is the best thing, But I think we need to get off the TV and the Facebook and focus on what we're going to do. That's all. I'm going to have more